All right, so welcome to part 2 here. In this one, we're going to straighten our arrows, which they should be pretty straight from our cut. And we're going to glue in our nocks, or not our knock strips, but our fill points. So what I do is I hold it nice and square. I get my gauge, and I just slightly rotate. And I just take a small amount of material off. They look like they're square and they're pretty square. I like to do it on the more aggressive side just a little bit, and then finish up with our small. And that looks good. That actually looks really good. So let's run through a couple of these right quick. Get these finished, knocked out, and then we'll glue some knots. So you want to try to prevent it from bouncing like that. Just kind of rock it back and forth. Keeping that stone square against your roller. Okay. And we can just go with this one too, but I don't believe that it's necessary. Normally on FMJs, I'll have to do both sides just so that they'll cut the aluminum. But really, I think I'll be fine with just using this end, since we're just on carbon. So let's get these done right quick, and then get to the gluing part, gluing and cleaning. Now that you've got all your arrow shafts here, now that they're all good and square, the faces are square and they're ready for the outserts or the half outs. A crucial step that a lot of people don't do, and I've actually bought arrows from shops, they cut them for me, and the glue doesn't set because they don't clean these out. And what I've always used is a Q-tip and acetone. And what you're trying to do is get all of that residue or all the dust out of the inside of your arrow shaft. That way your glue has a good surface to bond. So what I'm gonna do is just dip our Q-tip in our acetone and not drop it everywhere. You just wanna swab it out. And don't be afraid to use a lot of Q-tips. The cleaner, the better. All right, so see how that came out good and clean? So we're gonna do that to the rest of these. We're gonna set that aside for this used. Dip that one. I usually use a Q-tip and arrow. And be mindful, you wanna let that, let me set the good ones aside here. You want to let that acetone dry. So let's clean these up here. And then we'll get to our gluing stage. So, see how we're swabbing them shafts up. Getting that residue out of there. So now that your acetone is dry in your shafts, I normally use the Instabond, which comes from Black Eagle. You have to purchase it, of course, but I sometimes use this stuff here, the Bob Smith Industries. This stuff is amazing, but it dries super quick. And if you're not really on your A game, you'll mess a shaft up because you won't be able to get your insert in quick enough. So I'd rather something just a little bit slower drying. And, you know, it works just fine. I haven't had any inserts come out doing it with this technique. So, just want to make sure we have a shaft right here ready. And I put just a little glue on here. I want to go ahead and get us a rag ready. just so we can wipe off any excess glue that we might accumulate on anything. So remember, less is more. You don't have to have a whole lot. That right there is about good. Some people might say that that's too much, and some people might say that that's not enough. But that right there is about what you want. Now these are the provided half outs or outserts. I can't remember, from Black Eagle, and I'm not really liking how that one, it went in a little too easy, in my opinion. Let's test fit. We might need a little bit stronger glue. These shafts might be, the tolerances or something might be a little bit different. Let's see how easy these are sliding in. I've never really had any that easy to go in from Black Eagle, so that's slightly concerning, but I think we might up to a little bit stronger glue just to make sure we do get a good bond. Now, like I said before, this stuff is really strong, but it's good to have multiple glues on hand in case you get into a situation like this where you might need something a little bit stronger. Make sure our glue is coming out. Okay, so let's do some of these here. And this is a clear glue, so it doesn't take long for it to set. And with this, I'm just going to wipe it off with my fingers because we don't want any of the rag material to stick to it. That's not bad, but I'd sure like for them to be a little bit tighter. So, we'll see. Not really sure why these aren't as tight as I would like, but isn't that the way it goes? So let's get these glued up. Let's do one more here and just see if our tolerance is tight anymore. That's strange. Normally I have to force them in there. I don't know. But hey, we're getting good seatment. Everything's good and square. So let's get these glued up here. So in the next video, we're going to start our arrow wraps, and we're going to let those outserts dry, let them set up and cure before we go moving them around and everything. And these are our wraps that we're going to use. They're the bonding arrow wraps, reflective. So we also have us a really nice soft mat that we can really press down to roll our arrows on. So you guys stay tuned for part 3.